Yeah, he's partially right. In fact, he's right. So when you search on the Google Google homepage for anything you want, it sends a request to the server, and when the server gets the result, it looks for it looks in the database to check what what exactly are you searching for, and then it creates like a list of what you are searching for, probably possible answers, and it displays it to you. So with the front end, you have frameworks, you have technologies that they use for the front end. You have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is used for creating the interface. So I'll just be explaining what those are. So HTML is basically the skeleton. That's what you use to build the building block of your application. So let's say you have a text field, you have a button, and you have a bunch of all of those stuff together. So you use HTML, and then you use it to create the basic structure of your application. Then you have CSS. CSS is a way for creating or giving beauty to a website. So using HTML, you can create structures, but you can't really give it beauty. You can't say, oh, you want it to be able to scale on the mobile and on the web. So with CSS, you can do that. Then you have your JavaScript. Let's take, for instance, um, you you click on a button. What makes it functional is your JavaScript. JavaScript gives functionality to your web servers or to your mobile to your front end. So there is also the back end. So for instance, when you go on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram or any social media, you see a lot of those feeds that come or pop up on your mobile application or your web application. They are basically from the back end. So the back end helps. There are a lot of algorithms that goes on the back end that tells the user tells specifically what you want to be displayed to you. For instance, there are a lot of machine learning algorithms there that monitors and tries to track your behavior, what you watch. So it tracks your behavior, and when it tracks your behavior, it saves it to the backend database. And then further in the future, when you're searching for something, most of the things that you've searched for is probably going to learn from it and display it to you. So there's also full stack developers. A full stack developer is basically someone that combines the front end and back end together and works together because they have knowledge of both. Today particularly, I'll be talking about mobile development because that's what I specialize in. So mobile development, just as front end, like I explained, is very similar to front end web development. It basically shows you what you are seeing on the mobile app, and then you still have to make requests to the backend to get data from the backend. So I'll be talking about some of the frameworks that we use in mobile development. So first of all, I'll talk about iOS development, then I'll talk about Android development, then I'll talk about cross-platform. So iOS development basically means developing mobile applications for your iOS devices. So what tools do we use for this? There is there's a tool called UI Kit for basically building iOS mobile